Gazer, a horror story inspired by Arab folklore. Dark, grounded, and unsettling. Part 1. The Watchtower. In a forgotten village near the edge of the Sahara where sand meets stone, silence is older than speech, there stood a ruined watchtower built by the French over a century ago. Locals called it Burj al-Nazar, the Gazer's Tower. No one ever climbed it. Children were told if they stared too long at the top window, something would stare back. But 22-year-old Yuns, a photography student from Casablanca, didn't believe in that kind of talk. He came to the village to document abandoned colonial structures for his thesis. Haunted legends, in his eyes, were just fuel for the aesthetic. He smiled when the old sheik warned him. The gazer doesn't blink, and if you look at him, he follows you home. Part 2. Through the lens, Yuns was cautious, respectful, even pious. He prayed his prayers, respected the villagers, and fasted even though it wasn't Ramadan. But he had to capture the tower from the inside. At noon, while the village napped, he climbed the crumbling spiral stairs with his Canon camera slung over his shoulder. The higher he went, the colder the air became. At the top was a single-room, a square chamber with a half-broken window facing the dunes. Inside were bones, charred feathers, and hundreds of scratch marks on the walls, all clawing inward. Still, he took photos. When he looked through the viewfinder, he froze there. Standing across the desert was a dark figure in white robes, no face, only eyes, black, bulging, never blinking. Even through the zoom lens, he could feel its gaze piercing him. He pulled away, looked with the naked eye. No one was there, but the camera still showed it. Part 3. The sleepless eye. That night, he stayed in the village again. He couldn't sleep. Every time he closed his eyes, he felt like something was watching. But the feeling persisted. He reviewed the photos on his laptop. All seemed normal. Until frame 19. The figure was closer. Frame 24, right at the tower's base. Frame 27, behind the window. Yuns dropped the laptop. He began reciting Surat al-Falaq and Anas. The laptop screen then showed one photo that was never taken. A close-up of his own face, taken from inches away, and someone else's shadow behind him. Part 4. The curse of sight. In the days that followed, Yuns left the village. But the gazer did not leave him. He covered mirrors, slept with the lights on, prayed more, deleted the files. But it wasn't enough. In reflections, he'd see those unblinking eyes. In dreams, he'd wake to find himself standing, eyes wide, staring at corners. A spiritual healer he consulted told him, "You have awakened something that feeds on gaze. You saw it, and now it sees through you." The gazer, according to the old Arab tales, was a cursed watcher, a jinn bound to the tower for spying on the unseen. His punishment, to be stared at for eternity. Anyone who returns to the gaze breaks the seal. Part 5. Last frame. One night, Yuns went live on Instagram, shaking, pale, pleading. "If anyone finds this, don't look into his eyes. Don't look through glass." The police found his apartment door locked from the inside. His cameras were smashed, curtains torn, mirrors shattered, and on every wall were photos of himself, taken from impossible angles. The last photo, printed and hung in the center, was titled, "Gazer Underneath," scrawled in his handwriting. "It's not what you see, it's what sees you back." Epilogue. The archive. Today, in the basement of his university, Yuns' final photography folder remains in a corrupted archive. No one opens it, because the last student who did hasn't blinked since. The end.